Welcome to Unearthly.
Shambhala is a kingdom of highly evolved beings that is said to exist in the astral realm in the Gobi Desert. It is said to be thousands of years old, and the people of Shambhala are said to be immortals with superhuman abilities. Shambhala's many names include the land of white waters, the land of the living gods, the kingdom of light, etc. Shambhala didn't just pop out of the blue. Legends of this utopia are prevalent throughout Asia. Ancient Hindu texts say that Shambhala was named for the first land that arose from the oceans after a cataclysmic flood that covered all of the earth. A sage had a vision of a baby boy with dark skin floating in the ocean on a leaf. He inferred that the boy was the Hindu god Krishna, showing him the spot where land would rise up first. After the land arose, he named it Shambhala, where Shama means dark and Bala means boy. In 1627, the Portuguese missionary Estevão Casella travelled to Tibet and spoke about a mysterious kingdom called Shambhala. In the native-born religion of Tibet, Tagzik Olmo Langring is an ethereal realm where love and peace are said to be the fabric of existence. In China, Taoist myths speak of a paradise full of fabulous jewel palaces and magnificent gardens where people follow all the divine laws. Ruled by the Queen Mother of the West, this land is also home to the legendary Tree of Eternal Life. Only spiritually pure humans are allowed to eat the fruits of this tree, which renders them not only immortal but also bestows them with eternal youth. From Siberia come legends of a similar earthly paradise called Belavoida, a land of wisdom and harmony where people never fall sick and will remain hidden until a specific time in the future. Even the Hyperborea of the ancient Greeks alludes to a mystical paradise with beautiful gardens where the people never suffer, fall ill, or die. The most persistent theme across these diverse legends is that of immortality. Here, there is no sickness or death, as it is a land of eternal beings. The Vishnu Purana says that the final avatar or incarnation of Vishnu will be a Kalki, who will be born in Shambhala and thunder across the earth on a white horse in order to kill the demonic serpent named Kali and restore Dharma. This yuga is named after the demon Kali and shouldn't be confused with the goddess Kali. But the most detailed description of Shambhala comes from an ancient Tibetan Buddhist text called the Kala Chakra Tantra. Here, Shambhala is said to look like a lotus with 8 petals. The capital city, Kalapa, lies in the center, surrounded by lofty mountains. Beyond this are 8 minor cities in a circular pattern, giving it a lotus shape. Right in the middle of Kalapa is the king's dazzling palace, studded with diamonds and gems. Superhuman beings live here in perfect harmony. They are technologically advanced and even possess flying vehicles. The Kala Chakra prophecy speaks of 32 kings in all, who will rule for 100 years each. They keep a watchful eye on humanity at all times. There will come a time when the earth is mired in materialism and moral decay. An evil leader learns about Shambhala and decides to seize the kingdom, and it is then that Shambhala finally reveals itself to the world.
The leader attacks Shambhala with a
Mighty army, and a tremendous battle takes place where he is vanquished by the 32nd king of Shambhala, Rudra Chakran, and his army. But could such a land actually exist, or is it just a myth? The Kala Chakra Tantra lies at the very heart of Tibetan Buddhism and is said to have come from the divine kingdom of Shambhala. The current Dalai Lama says, quote, "If so many Kala Chakra teachings are supposed to have come from Shambhala, how could this country be just a fantasy?" Unquote. He sincerely believes that Shambhala exists. Also, consider that one of the names of Shambhala in Sanskrit is Paradesha or Parades. Though the exact meaning of Paradesh in Sanskrit is not our country or foreign country, Shambhala was always seen as a heavenly realm of divine beings. Perhaps this is the root of the word paradise, which comes to us from Greek, since it sounds too close to Parades to be a coincidence. And if you look up the word paradise online, it brings up this result where it talks about the Garden of Eden. A common theme across all Shambhala legends is that of beautiful gardens. At the same time, this word also gives us a hint that the location of Shambhala was not in ancient India, but in another country. Many myths and beliefs are associated with Shambhala, ranging from the incredible to the fantastical. Here are some of the well-known and not so well-known myths and beliefs associated with Shambhala. Who lives there? Shambhala is believed to be home to a people of very high spiritual attainment who see all of creation as one and live in a state of spiritual oneness. Tibetans believe that only those who attain moksha and those with a pure heart and mind can live there, and that's why the average human being can never reach there physically. The people of Shambhala are said to have abilities such as clairvoyance and telepathy due to their spiritual practices. They live blissful lives without suffering, disease, or death. In every sphere of life, the arts, spirituality, and even technology, they are said to vastly supersede us. Tibetan Lamas believe that they have used aerial craft for millennia. Where is it? Some people believe that Shambhala lies in the Gobi Desert, whereas others say that Shambhala lies in a hidden valley in the Himalayas, and in both cases it is said to be in another dimension. Maybe both these places are part of the kingdom of Shambhala. In the Bon religion, which predated Buddhism, Tagzik Olmo Langring is the name for Shambhala, said to be an enchanting land full of bliss. It is somewhat different from the Tibetan description of Shambhala, but there are some similarities. Here, Shambhala is said to be shaped like a lotus with 8 petals and consists of 4 regions from the boundary to the innermost, right in the center of which is a pyramid-shaped mountain. This mountain serves as the axis mundi, and its 4 faces are aligned with the 4 cardinal directions. From each face springs a river. For those who watched the Mount Kailash video, this may ring a bell since Mount Kailash too is a pyramid-shaped mountain with 4 rivers. And indeed, the Bon religion is closely associated with Mount Kailash. The current Dalai Lama often initiates monks into the Kala Chakra Tantra, which is arguably the most complex and advanced teaching of Buddhism. During one such initiation ceremony, he spoke about the location of Shambhala. Quote, although those with special affiliation may actually be able to go there through their karmic connection, nevertheless, it is not a physical place that we can actually find. We can only say that it is a pure land in the human realm. And unless one has the merit and the actual karmic association, one cannot actually arrive there. Unquote. So what is a pure land? It's said to be a heavenly land in a higher dimension, full of highly evolved beings and magnificent gardens, where one is guided by bodhisattvas to achieve enlightenment. In Mahayana Buddhism, it is believed that several pure lands exist. What purpose does Shambhala serve? Perhaps the craziest claim about Shambhala is that it guides the evolution of mankind. Though hidden from the rest of the world, Shambhalites are said to know everything that happens in the outside world and bring about change at certain pivotal moments in time. They don't do this by interfering directly in human affairs, as they respect the cosmic law of free will that governs planets such as ours. According to the highly acclaimed Tibetan monk Tsongkhapa, towards the end of every century, emissaries from Shambhala are said to introduce new ideas and knowledge to the outside world. So they impact our world directly by being born here, though their memories of Shambhala are completely wiped out when they're born here, just like any other human who incarnates on earth. The timings of these events are tied to epochs or yugas and also to equinoxes and solstices, when the influx of cosmic energies of prana is maximum. The proximity to the central sun, solar energies and light tend to play a vital role in human consciousness. Shambhala is also said to be the source of Kala Chakra teachings. Interestingly, before Buddhism came to Tibet, an ancient religion called Bon flourished there. The founder of this religion, Tonpa Shenrab, is supposed to have come from Tagzik Olmo Langring, a land of wise and ageless beings. The Chinese sage Lao Tzu was the founder of Taoism and the author of the Tao Te Ching. It is believed by some people that the Tao Te Ching actually originated in this mystical land and that Lao Tzu presented it to the outside world. Lao Tzu is said to have travelled to Shambhala after his life's mission was completed. Paramahamsa Yogananda is the author of Autobiography of a Yogi and said that the guru who started his lineage was from Gyanganj, which means place of knowledge and is another name for Shambhala. He says his guru's guru, Lahiri Mahasaya, was initiated into Kriya Yoga under very strange circumstances in 1861. That year, Mahasaya, as an employee of the British government was suddenly posted to Rani Ghat in the Himalayas. While exploring the mountains some weeks later, he heard someone calling him by name. He beheld a complete stranger who looked almost exactly like himself except for his copper-colored hair. His young doppelganger said it was he who summoned Lahiri to Rani Ghat. Leading him to a tiny cave, he asked Lahiri if he remembered it. Lahiri was bewildered by the bizarre turn of events, but the stranger stepped closer and touched him gently on the forehead, upon which a flood of past life memories rushed into his conscious mind. He began to remember. The stranger was his own Guru Babaji, and this was the same cave where he'd spent countless hours in meditation in his previous life. Babaji said he would initiate him into Kriya Yoga right away, and that Lahiri's purpose in life was to spread this yoga to the outside world. Nearly 40 years later in 1920, on the eve of his departure to America, Yogananda was having serious doubts about going there. Just then, he was visited by a young holy man whom he'd never met. Due to the striking resemblance the stranger bore to Lahiri Mahasaya, Yogananda wondered if it was Babaji, and the saint confirmed that he was indeed Babaji. Babaji then told Yogananda that his mission was to take Kriya Yoga to the West and thus ensure its revival. Whether this sounds credible or not, these events are mentioned in Yogananda's book. About Babaji he writes, "The deathless Guru bears no mark of age on his body. He appears to be no more than a youth of 25. Fair skin, of medium build and height, Babaji's beautiful, strong body radiates a perceptible glow. His eyes are dark, calm and tender. His long, lustrous hair is copper-colored. A very strange fact is that Babaji bears an extraordinarily exact resemblance to his disciple Lahiri Mahasaya. The similarity is so striking that in his later years, Lahiri Mahasaya might have passed as the father of the youthful-looking Babaji." Here, notice how he says the Guru is deathless and does not age, just like the beings of Shambhala. Helena Blavatsky, founder of the esoteric philosophy known as Theosophy, claimed that ascended masters from a hidden society of adepts were giving her information. She spoke about Shambhala but did not really emphasize on it, yet it captured the world's imagination. Arthur Powell, Blavatsky's disciple, writes about these adepts. Quote, "They represent the ruling department which guides all evolution of nature, changes the face of the globe, shapes the face of civilizations, and watches over the spiritual destinies of mankind." Unquote. In India, there are many spiritual gurus to this day that believe that the souls of some ascended masters continue to live in Shambhala in astral form, guiding them from there. In Tibetan Buddhism, it is believed that bodhisattvas or perfected beings from Shambhala choose to reincarnate on earth to help free those who are trapped in the web of karma. Shambhala has many more mysteries in store. Please stay tuned for another episode about it. Thanks for watching and please subscribe, like and share if you found this informative.